Hey buddy, welcome back to this Extreme Warfare Revenge series. My name is Andy Bennett, better known on YouTube as The Uncommentator. This is episode number 20. Now, if you're one of the 3 people that's been following this series all the way through, first of all, thank you very much. I genuinely mean that and I hope you are enjoying it. Second of all, you'll know that I've been talking about this episode for a while, saying it will be fairly significant, and it will be. So I'll go into more detail though when we get to August. Now you can see there at the minute we're on Sunday the 28th of July, so it's the day after our big July event, which was Tremendous. That's the name of the event, not me saying tremendous, although it was of course tremendous as well. So as I said, I'm going to just skip quickly on to August, because when we get to the 1st of August there's going to be a lot of emails that we need to deal with, and then I'll go into more detail and explain why this video is going to be significant. Now, just for full disclosure, I am recording this on the 31st of July, so we are we're a few days away from SummerSlam, just to give that a bit of context. So if I reference anything that has since happened by the time you read this, then you will know why. So we'll delete all those in a second. Let's just get to August, and then I'll go through all the emails, and then we'll actually work on this video in terms of explaining what's going to happen and why it will be significant for the rest of this series, which I'm not sure how long it's going to last yet. Anyway, here we are. So we're mirroring real life now. Wednesday the 31st of July. The Olympic Games are up and running. I don't think the wrestling started yet in the Olympics, but I may be wrong. I've been quite enjoying it though. The gymnastics and the diving in particular. Anyway, here we are. Thursday the 1st of August. How many emails have we got? We've got 44 emails. Now, just also before I go through those emails, I just want to mention as well, I have signed a few wrestlers in between recording this video and the last one. So we may get some emails about wrestlers that haven't debuted yet, but I want to try and keep them a surprise. But I can't promise anything. Anyway, let's see where we're at. So a few birthdays. You can see there, the first one there, Robert Gibson. So that's one. And El Cotrera as well. So two of the people that I signed. I've got birthdays, so that's that little surprise ruined. But hey ho, it's not the end of the world. So let's just go through these emails. Let's see what we can get rid of. Let's get rid of all these. Let's quickly get rid of all these ratings ones. Okay, so we'll ignore that one. So we don't need that. AAA versus the Elite. That was a bit one-sided. The full roster up against the Young Bucks and their mates. But anyway. Don't need to worry about that. Or G1s or anything like that. Get rid of all these. Right, Battle Arts have announced their touring roster, so we'll have a look at that. So we've got about 30 emails to go through, because these two were carried over from last time. So let's see what we've got. So we've got some birthdays, including some people that haven't debuted yet. Public image going up, great. Let's get rid of that. We'll delete them as we're going along. Don't care about that. Okay, Bill Behrens has left NJPW. Bandito wants a pay rise. Excalibur wants a pay rise. Mickey James got 3 months of a contract. That's useful to know. Robert Gibson's become a non-wrestler. He never actually wrestled for us. Okay, Pirata Morgan. Who else we got? Me, Alex Anthony. Charles Robinson. Oh, Rick Steiner's back from rehab. That's interesting. And then we've just got the IWC people. Right, okay, so not many retirements, which is interesting. Just Pirata Morgan and Alex Anthony, Casanova Cato. And Charles Robinson, which is a bit of a shame. Right, okay, so not as much to deal with as I thought. I'll stop saying okay in a second. Right, so Battle Arts. So let's have a look at their touring roster. Now, I believe the Battle Arts touring roster was blank. So hopefully they've hired somebody. I don't know who it's going to be, but let's see. Battle Arts, one of the... Fred Yehai and Tim Donst. So that'll be some card. Yeah, Battle Art's one of these defunct promotions, I believe. I don't think they exist anymore. But as I've mentioned in previous episodes, the Japan part of this game can't be edited unless somebody can find the original code. So that's why you've still got... That's why there's no companies like DDT or Dragon Gate. Dragon Gate Japanese, I think they are. Featuring on here, and you've still got defunct promotions like World Japan and Battle Arts, etc. I think Pride as well. I don't think they exist anymore. I think the ones that don't exist have a blank roster. I think that's why. And they'll hire somebody soon, hopefully. Battle Arts, 1st of August, they've hired somebody, so hopefully Pride on the 1st of September will follow suit. So we don't need to worry about any of that. Right, that's carried over from last time. Trey Miguel and Triton. We'll come back to that one. Right, Battle Arts, so we don't need that. So now we'll see how our IWC wrestlers are getting on. So Hannah Kimura doing okay. Ty Conti doing very well. MJF doing well, which is good. Oddinson, yeah. Paro, okay. Penelope Ford is ready to come out of development, so we need to make a decision there regarding her. Super Astro Jr., yeah. Terence Hughes, Myron Reed doing well. Will Hobbs, Willow Nightingale, Ilya Dragunov. Yeah, they're all ticking over nicely. Rick Steiner's back from rehab. That's useful to know. So we can start using him again. Let's delete these IWC emails. I wish we could bulk delete emails on this. It would be so much quicker. I will get to the point eventually. I'm just going to do the admin stuff first, the boring stuff, and then we'll get to the slightly more interesting stuff. Right. Rick Steiner's returned from rehab. That's useful to know. Charles Robinson's retired. Hillbilly Jim's retired. The Sandman's retired. Don't really care about any of that if I'm being brutal. Right, Robert Gibson. We need to sort that out, which we will. There's the birthdays. Bandido wants a pay rise, as does Excalibur. Mickey James, 3 months left. Robert Gibson. So Trey Miguel and Triton want to team up. That was coming over from last time, as I said. And Kairi Sane doesn't want to, or Asuka, I should say, doesn't want to team with Kairi Sane. Right. Okay, so 7 minutes in, we haven't done anything yet. Except we've got to a pivotal point in this entire series. Now, the reason why this video is going to be a little bit significant is because I'm going to make quite a significant change. So if I'm going to go, I'm going to go to the television section, and you can see there we've got Warfare, 10 weeks left of Warfare, which is something I need to keep an eye on. But basically, as you can see there, we're currently on early evening. We've got an early evening time slot. However, I'm going to go to negotiate with network, and if I click on that, they're willing to move the show to prime time. So you know what? That's what we're going to do. We're going to move to prime time. So no longer are we going to be on early evening, we're going to be on prime time. Now that is quite important. So we're going to go with that. We're now on prime time, which means we'll be expected to deliver better ratings. We'll be able to deliver more segments, which is something that obviously I'll take into account. And we'll also get the maximum amount of sponsorship money. I think I mentioned this in a previous video, but if you're not on prime time, these sponsorship deals where it says pay per show, you don't actually get the full amount. I don't know how it's worked out, but you don't get the full amount. Well, now we will. I mean, we don't need the money because we're doing pretty well, but it's always useful to have. I say we're doing pretty well. We lost $55,000 last month, so maybe we do need the money. Maybe we do need the money. I don't know. Right, okay. I suspect that's because of some of the wrestlers I've hired. You can see the worker costs have gone up quite significantly. Okay, so we do need the money. Okay, I'll edit that out. Right. So we're now going on to prime time, which is part of the reason why I opted for our show to be on Thursdays, because we look at the guide. I always plan to move to prime time if possible, and I think Thursday's the only day. Well, it's not the only day, but Thursday's one of the days where there's no prime time shows. Obviously, if we'd gone on Fridays, we'd have had to battle with New Japan on Access for a short one, which would have harmed us. So Thursday made sense. So we are now on prime time. Now, before we crack on, let's just dot the I's and cross the T's. I just want to see if we can get some better sponsors. So let's see if anyone's interested in us. Twisted Tea. So no, they're not, because they'll pay less than what we're currently our current sponsors are giving us. Alrighty then. So what risk can we have? Not that I'm going to put it up. Just going to check. View networks, VH1. So you can see there, so we need to try and deliver, so we can have slightly more risk, 6% more risk. I'm not worried about that, but we need to deliver at much better rating. So a 1 point difference, which is quite significant. But I believe we can do it. We're pretty much maxing out the rating we can get anyway, so let's hope we can. Now, while it's the first of the month, I'm just going to increase the advertising because now we're on prime time. Put that up to 67%. We'll also increase the merchandising, how much we're spending on that, to just shy of 750,000. So hopefully that'll help sell a bit more. But we don't need to worry about any of that. There's certain things you can only do on the first of the month, so I just need to make sure that I get all this done. We'll leave the roster till the end, because we need to sort Robert Gibson out. Now the staff, I think we're fine for staff. I'll just double check. We need to sort Penalty Ford out. Yep, that's fine. Kevin Sullivan, Rick Steiner's contracts are coming to an end. Apparently, Mickey James has 3 months left as well, but apparently that's not important enough for Sophie. Blah, blah, blah. Yep, so we're fine there. We don't need to hire anybody. Don't need to worry about any of this. We don't need to worry about this or this. Titles, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yep. Right, okay, yeah. We do need to set the event up, though. So it's going to be... So we go to the August events. Right. Okay. Just checking. So at the start of the game, before I got rid of all the events to go to a weekly format, the August event was actually blank. So I'm going to come up with a name for an event. And I'm going to put it in here. And I want it to be on pay-per-view because it's going to have a significant match on it. Bit of a spoiler. But we'll stick on just on large at this. We'll stick with the large event just because the last time we did a pay-per-view we lost a load of money. And we've just lost money last month. So I think it makes sense to... not run before we can walk. And the name I've come up with for this event is City of Devils, because of course Los Angeles, where this promotion is, where PWG is based, called City of Angels, so City of Devils. I don't think that one needs explaining any further than I probably already have. Right. Yep, so we're going to be the last day of the month, Saturday the 31st of August. So lots of build time for our next event. Let's sort Robert Gibson out. I'll try and do it as well. Hopefully you won't see some of the other people that I've signed, but no doubt you will. I'll try and move quickly. Okay. Now he's happy with his current contract, so I can't offer him a release. What I can do though is send him to development. I mean, if I've signed Robert Gibson, you don't need to be a genius to figure out somebody else that I've signed. I mean, you can see them down the left-hand side anyway, so it's not really going to be much of a surprise, unfortunately. Right, so we terminate his contract. And thankfully, because there's no relationships on this game, Ricky Morton isn't annoyed at us. Well, there are some relationships on this game, but friendship isn't one of them. It tends to only be love ones for some reason. I don't know why whoever kept this game up to date got rid of the relationships, but hey ho. On an old version of this game, he would have had a relationship with Ricky Morton, loyalty, and I think if I'd fired him, Ricky Morton would have walked out as well. But anyway, because I've hired Ricky Morton, a bit of a spoiler. Right, so we'll rehire him. Was it 1 year? I can't remember now. Ricky Morton. No, it was 2 years, because why not? Okay, I need him as a wrestler, so. I mean, to be fair, if he'd become a wrestler, if he'd been unemployed, we'd have had to do this anyway, so it's not really made any difference to anything. Just means he's going to be on slightly more money than he was. So I've already had to bump his pay up. Right, Robert Gibson signs the contract, so that's good. So we can get rid of that email now. And there's just a couple of other little bits and bobs I'm going to do. So Bandido wants a pay rise. Well, I'm not going to give him a pay rise. I'm going to sign him to a written contract. So I'm sorry, Ring of Honor, but you're losing a wrestler because despite what I said in old episodes, you can sign people to written contract if they work for bigger promotions than you, as I will now demonstrate. So written contract, 2 years. And now he will say this for a little bit of time, but he will eventually sign with us. There we go. And I'm also going to do it for somebody else. and that is Trey Miguel. All the jobs that he's done. I'm just going to give him 6 months for now. All the jobs that he's done have earned him this contract. Okay, come on. Right, so Trey Miguel and Bandido are now exclusive to us. So Impact and Ring of Honor respectively will no doubt sign somebody new. Right, so I think that's the housekeeping done, you'll be pleased to know. So for now, I think we can actually start some booking. Now, normally I'll do 2 shows in a video, but given how long I'm expecting this video, I mean, I've already 15 minutes, I haven't booked anything yet. So I may only do 1 show in this video, but we shall see. If I actually got on with it, rather than talking, then we may get something done a bit sooner and stop stuttering as well. Right, so let's just remind ourselves and myself as well, because it's been a while since I've recorded. Let's just remind ourselves where we got to at the end of the last video. So as I said, it was a big July show, which was tremendous. So let's just recap what happened. So Keith Lee beat Dominik Dijakovic in a bit of a grudge match. Crime Time won a #1 contenders match for a tag team title shot. Drew Gulak beat the Powers of Pain on his own, which is very good. Mickie James won the women's title. The Kabuki Warriors beat Mia Yim and Paige, which is why we got the email from Asuka saying she doesn't want to team with Kairi Sane, which could be a bit of a problem. Eli Drake got revenge on Super Dragon, and Kongo Kong is still World's Champion. Alright, so first of the month, 1st of August, first show on Primetime. Let's go. Let's do some booking. So now we've got a full card we can book. So before it was 8 segments a show, we're now going to be booking 11 or up to 11. We can still get away with 8, but I'm going to try and maximise the opportunities. I'm going to kick things off with an angle. So what better way to start on Primetime than with Eli Drake, who according to Sophie is our top star. So it makes sense to start with him. So it's going to be an angle. It's going to be a one-on-one angle. And it's going to be a challenge for the next big event. So Eli Drake, not El Cutrero, Eli Drake challenging Kongo Kong. So we're already establishing the main event for City of Devils in our first segment on Primetime. Eli Drake challenges Kongo Kong. So what he's going to say on this is, it's going to be a bit of a callback to last month. So if you remember, a couple of months ago, Eli Drake beat Josh Barnett in a steel cage match, and then he said that there was some fine print in the contract that meant if he won that match, he got a one-on-one match with Super Dragon. Well, he's going to say something like, I mean, I'll not do an Eli Drake impression, but he'll say something like, well, you know, you didn't read the fine print again, did you, Super Dragon? Because the fine print in the contract for our match said that if I win, or when I win, when I kick your keister, something like that, much more charismatic than that, hopefully, I get a world title shot against Kongo Kong. So then he calls out Kongo Kong, and Kongo Kong's not very happy, but he says fine. Crucially though, he does say that he gets a title shot any time in the month of August. That was that was what was in the fine print in the contract, and he's choosing the last day of August, the 31st of August, City of Devils, because he wants to make Kongo Kong wait, and he wants to make Kongo Kong's life a misery for a month, knowing he wants to give him sleepless nights, basically, knowing that by the end of the last day of the month, he's gonna lose his title. So basically, he's giving the maximum amount of thinking time to try and worry him. That's his excuse anyway for waiting, rather than just so the fans don't boo him by him not doing it tonight. That's the rationale for that segment. And then we are going to move into our tag team title match, because it's a first show on Primetime. Let's book a bit of a banger to kick things off. So I'm going to kick things off with a rare title match. We don't normally do title matches on free TV, but we're doing it tonight. So Crime Time, who won at Tremendous, are going to challenge the tag team champions, who are, of course, the Mighty. Now, I speculated in a previous video if the Mighty, TMDK, the TM in TMDK stood for the Mighty, and it does. So I was right. And I probably should have known anyway, but I didn't. So Shane Thorne and Mikey Nichols. The Mighty, the tag team champions. Going to be defending the belts. Of course, the Shane Thorne and Mikey Nichols are in TMDK. That's why I speculated on it. Anywho, so we're going to have a victory for Crime Time. However, they're not going to win the titles. They're going to win by disqualification. So Crime Time are going to get disqualified because there's going to be a run-in from the debuting El Cuatrero and Sanson. So they're going to debut. And then in the aftermath, there's going to be a save, and it's going to be from, you guessed it, Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson. So in one segment, now purpose is actually to debut both teams. So Nuevo, yeah, that one, and the Rock and Roll Express. I'll put that it's to debut that team because they are the younger team. Most people may not have heard of them compared to the Rock and Roll Express. Anyway, I'll come back to that at the end of the booking. I'll just finish booking the whole show and then we'll come back to that one. Yeah, I want this. We're given this as the first show on prime time. I want this show to kind of feel like the Raw after WrestleMania when it was good before the fans started making it about themselves. Like, you know what most wrestling fans do. They you get a good thing and then wrestling fans ruin it. So that's just how it goes. But yeah, I mean back in the day when back in the day, Raw after Mania used to be great, and then, like I said, the fans started making it about themselves and ruined it. But that's the feel that I want, the golden era of Raw after Mania. So a bit of chaos, things you wouldn't expect, and all things kicking off. So speaking of which, we're going to have another tag team match, so back-to-back matches, something I don't normally do. So again, pushing the boat out, which is going to be Josh Barnett and Timothy Thatcher, who I think would team up quite well. Taking on Kushida. And it's kind of a debut, but it's not really a debut. It's Go Shiozaki, and I've come up with a tag team name for them because I'm going to run them as a tag team. So Go Shiozaki debuted a while ago. I think it was when Will Ospreay got signed to Ring of Honor, and I lost my number one contender, so I had to parachute somebody in, and I chose Go Shiozaki. Well, he's now here permanently because he was two with Noah, and now he isn't. And I've given Kushida and Go Shiozaki what I think is a clever name. It's go time. It's go time. So Timothy Thatcher and Josh Barnett versus go time. So what had happened here is Barnett and Thatcher made their way to the ring. Kushida had come out on his own. He cut a mini promo. If hopefully he can speak English. I'm not sure what his English is like, but hopefully it's good enough. But you can then introduce Go Shiozaki, who's now, as I said, a permanent member of the roster. And of course, they win, so Go Shiozaki can pin Timothy Thatcher cleanly. And it must remember that I'm surprised actually because I thought it wouldn't. Oh no, that's Aftermath. Move on. So no Aftermath. Purpose. Here we go. Yeah, we'll put Purpose to debut Go Shiozaki, even though the Purpose really is to debut Go Time. So we've got Go Time and Crime Time. We'll just thought of that. Anyway, yeah. So even though Go Shiozaki's been on the roster before, because I've let him go and now rehired him, it says I can debut him. So yeah, that's the point of that one. So in two segments, we've injected quite a lot of new life into the tag division, which was desperately needed, especially for the face side. I think for the faces we had Crime Time and Mexi Blood. Well, now we've got Go Time and the Rock and Roll Express coming in. Okay, this next segment is going to be an angle, and it's going to be a stable angle, and it's going to be worker stable introduce new singles member. So the troupe are going to be introducing Bandido, and I knew that was going to happen. So that's annoying because, of course, the troupe currently is just, well, Bandido joined the troupe back at back at the Tremendous event. Right. Okay. I'll have to change that. So that's what would be the segment. So we'll change it to an interview. That's what we'll do. So it'll be an interview. I'll sort that out after. I was going to go back and it doesn't matter. Stable. So we'll just put the troop. This stable needs to have more than 2 active members. What is going on here? I don't undo all the booking I've done. Can I edit this out? No. Screw it. Okay. It really bugs me, this. Right, okay, so add new member. So Bandido, there we go. Right, okay, we'll book all that again. So apologies for that. I'll try and do it as quick as possible. So yeah, just while I'm doing this then. So yeah, the last event. So Bandido joined. Bandido helped Drew Gulak beat the Powers of Pain because the Powers of Pain cost Mexi Blood the tag team titles, and of course the troop tried to recruit Bandido, and he turned them down because he said, "Well, I'm tag team champion, so I don't want to, I don't spread myself too thin." And then obviously they lost the tag team titles to the Mighty. So now we decided, and thanks to Powers of Pain interference, so now we decided to get revenge and screw them over in the match. So that's how we've come to that particular occurrence. I do apologise for having to rebook all this. I'll try and do it as quick as I can. And it's another reason why I knew that was going to happen. Those stable angles are a pain. So, tag team titles, make sure I put the belts on the line. So, El Cuatrero and Santos. Yeah, like I said, I'll come back to that one. JTG by DQ. Interference, there we go. Titles don't change hands on a DQ. As we know. So, Morton and Gibson. For the save. Debut NGD, I'm going to call them. It's just a little bit easier to say. Right. So another match. Yeah, obviously if this were real, and I was, excuse me, and I was moving to prime time, then I would have had a sort of, I'd have obviously had the announcers mention it, and I would have had a clock on the screen, like sort of counting down, saying, countdown to prime time, or if, really, ideally, what I would have wanted to say is countdown to primate time. Because Pro Wrestling gorillas are primates. Monkeys. So I think that could have been. Quite good. Possibly. Yeah, we wouldn't just randomly turn up on prime time. But I was trying to keep it a surprise that's what I was. That's what I was planning. There was some other surprise I was planning, but I think a lot of them have been ruined. Anyway, back to where we were. So that was 3 minutes of my life. I'm not getting back. So we'll try again. I don't think you can book this angle if somebody's already in the stable. If they can't, then it doesn't matter. Let's have a look. So worker. Where is it? Stable introduces new singles member. So the troop. I will come up with a stable name that's not there eventually, and it's Bandido now because he's already in it. Yep, I knew it was going to happen. That's the problem, you see. I didn't want to put him in because I wanted to do this angle, but then because there's only 2 people in the stable at the minute, I can't do the angle. So either way, I lose basically. So we'll do what we originally were going to do, and we'll do an interview. With a stable, and it's the troop, and the targets are, of course, well, I mean, why you can't pick another stable, I don't know, but yeah, see, they're not only ones. I can only pick the Barbarian or the Warlord. Now they are in the stable I want to target, but we'll go for the leader. So basically, all they'll do in that segment is like, oh yeah, no, explain what I explained earlier, and well, yeah, they're screwed now. The Glory Days, right? Next up, we're going to have another interview. This time, it's with Dominik Dijakovic, and he's going to target Keith Lee. Now, of course, Keith Lee beat Dijakovic at 3 Mendes. And he's just going to slag him off. So basically, the interviewer would say, "Oh, now you and Keith have had your match. Are you going to reconsider joining the troupe?" And Dominik says, "I'm never going to fight alongside Keith Lee, no matter what." That's essentially what's going to happen there. Hopefully, he'll do it a bit more charismatically than I just have. Okay. So, we're going to do another angle. We've had too many matches now, so let's get back to the angles. It's going to be a one-on-one angle. It's going to be sort of call out unanswered, but not quite. So it's going to be Paige calling out Asuka. So what's going to happen here is, it's not going to be a call out unanswered. What it's going to be, Paige will come out and say, oh, it was amazing to be in the ring on Saturday. I'm sorry we didn't get the win, but I want to talk to Asuka. I want to talk to Asuka one-on-one without Katrina in her ear or blah blah blah, because I know the real Asuka. So next week I'm going to call out Asuka. That's what she'll say here, rather than call out Asuka and Asuka not turn up. So Paige vowing to call out Asuka next week to try and speak to her, because as she said, she says she knows the real her. Right. So we're going to have another match, a bit of a throwaway one this time. But there is a reason to it. So Dominik Dijakovic is going to be taking on Mark Haskins. So it's two heels up against each other. And it's going to be a draw. No contest of interference. And it's going to be we haven't done this I feel like I've not done this for a while, but it's going to be another match that the Glory Days ruined. So we'll have Rick Steiner, because he's been... obviously, he's been away in rehab. So this is a good way to reintroduce Rick Steiner. Let me just check. Sorry, I'm just going to check my notes here. Yeah, we'll introduce Rick Steiner here. So no contest interference. And then no aftermath. And it is to build to a future match. So Dijakovic's match gets ruined by Rick Steiner. So three heels having a massive fight. Okay, then back to the angles. So this is going to be a celebration angle. And it's going to be Mickie James celebrating that she's now women's champion. Now, of course, she would have... Now obviously I can't book this, but she would have Mia Yim out there with her kind of clapping, because they've been teaming up for the last few months before Mickie told Mia she was going to go after the title. Another random segment, and this is why I gave Trey Miguel a contract, because it's going to be worker proposes team accepted. So of course I teamed Trey Miguel up and Triton recently. Well, now they're going to team up permanently, because Trey Miguel is going to ask Triton to be his permanent team. So basically, he'll say something like, "Look, we both kind of struggled in the singles division. I enjoyed teaming with you last week. Why don't we do it permanently and see if we have a bit more luck? If we team up more regular, let's go. Let's try and get some wins in their belts. Go after the tag titles." Puts a fist out. Triton fist bumps him, and then they walk off. So they're now a permanent team. And last but not least, it's going to be the wrestling main event. The main event match, because there's going to be a main event segment that's not a match. And it's going to be the two women that didn't... were in the triple threat match that Mickie James won. So it's going to be Deonna Purrazzo versus Tenille. So no book the women better signs on this show, because the women are main eventing. I mean, she did main event Dynamite once, Deonna Purrazzo. I think she lost the ROH title to Mercedes. And they said Monet. No, it wasn't her. It was Is it Mercedes Martinez, I think? That is the name, isn't it? She was in Retribution. Yeah, anyway, move on. Right, so Tennielle's going to win, but she's going to win by cheating because she's a dastardly, no good something. And then no aftermath, and put on a good match, because why not? Right, just the main event segment to go. Now, unfortunately, I wanted to try and keep this a surprise because I think it's quite significant, but it's been a little bit spoilt, so it's going to be an angle. It's going to be a stable angle. It's going to be stable. Introduces new singles member. This time we can actually do this segment, I think. So the Glory Days are going to introduce the hardcore legend himself. It's Mick Foley. So we've signed Mick Foley, which again, I think that surprise has been a little bit ruined, but we've signed Mick Foley and he's going to join the Glory Days. So he's going to join, he's going to debut as a heel. So obviously there'll be a big build-up. The Glory Days have been in the ring, banging on about, you know, Bandito joining the troupe. Well, you know, we don't care because our newest member is, and then they'll drop some hints that it's Mick Foley, and then obviously we can't do the car crash, but, you know, we'll do some kind of sound effect that it's obviously Mick Foley, and out he comes, and he joins the Glory Days. So we've signed Mick Foley, and he's joining the heel stable of veterans. Right, so hopefully that's, like I said, Raw After Mania-esque show, so plenty of debuts, plenty of re-debuts, and, you know, Steiner's back from rehab, Go Shiozaki's back, Rock and Roll Express are debuting, and then we end with the massive, big debut of Mick Foley, the biggest star that we've ever signed for PWG. I think that would be fair to say. Right, let's go. Let's get that primetime rating, hopefully. Good start. Ricky Morton debuted his new gimmick, did he? What gimmick was that? I don't know. Okay, we'll come back to that one. I'll check that. Good match, though. Go Shiozaki got a new debut. Yeah, again, I'll come back to that one. There's a few things I need to come back to, like I keep saying. That was a good match, though. That wasn't a match. That's anyway, move on. Yep, poor interview. Doesn't matter. Good. 10% crowd reaction. That's what you get when you put two heels against each other and have a heel run in and ruin it. That's going to be a new record. That's quite impressive. There's apathy, and then there's that. Okay, Mickie James celebrates the title win. Yep, neither of them's got any charisma, so I knew that was going to be bad. Good match. Papa Shango gets over. Well, you know, as long as somebody does. Forget Foley or anybody else, but Papa Shango getting over. Well, that was an interesting show. 65%. Obviously, the terrible draw in the middle there kind of ruined it. Right, so a lot to unpack, which we'll get back to in a second. Right, any interesting emails? We'll have a look in a second. Okay. Right, let's just quickly check the Robert Gibson thing, because I'm not quite sure what happened there. Or the Ricky Morton thing, I should say. So, old school face. Well, they're both old school faces anyway, so that's the main thing. Right, Go Shiozaki, yeah. I gave him a gimmick of Gothic. Now, his original gimmick was like evil foreigner or something, so because he's a babyface, I didn't want to keep him on that. Now, obviously with Gothic, you know, he's not going to come out in full, you know, gangrel, white shirt and spitting viscous fluid, or whatever we call that nowadays. But he'll be a little bit sort of like, he'll have a little bit of makeup and sort of play up to the, I don't want to say a cult, but play up to, you know, you get the idea. He'll be dressed in black and yeah, not overtly Gothic, just a little bit, if that makes any sense. I just wanted to, you know, Gothic Shiozaki. That's where we're going with it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I just needed to get him a new gimmick. That's what I came up with. So yeah, I know. Amazing. I don't do this professionally, isn't it? Right. Yeah. So let's go to the. Let's check the mail first. So NJPW have signed a new member of staff. So they need to replace their retired staff. Eric of the Viking Raiders, presumably, or Viking Experience, whatever you want to call them. So we signed someone off Ring of Honor and Impact. So let's see if they've replaced them. Austin Aries. So Negro Casas has gone to Impact. And Ring of Honor have signed Grand Metalik, so I presume they're the replacements for Bandido and Trey Miguel. So that's interesting. We got a 2.7 for Warfare, so I'm hoping that's going to be good enough. Let's have a look. Happy with the ratings, good. Ratings good, yep, that's perfect. Hopefully the debut of Mick Foley would bring in some ratings. Put some butts in the seats. Right, well, I'm going to do that in a second, Triton. Well, I don't. You don't say, Dominic. You don't say. I mean, the match wasn't bad. It was 70%. I think it was 70% quality. It was just the crowd reaction that bombed. Okay, Grand Metalik, now employed. Negro Casas, Austin Aries, and Eric. Let's just quickly go and have a look at those. Then we'll go to the tag teams. So Major League Wrestling, who we're trying to catch up with. Yep, it is Viking Experience. I said it as a joke, but it is. Right. Ring of Honor, so they've signed Grand Metalik. Where is he? Whoop, there he is. 87% speed skills, so pretty good. And I just want to see. I don't know this Negro. I've never heard of Negro Casas, I have to say. So perhaps. Okay. Interesting. I mean, decent stats for a 60-year-old. Is he related to my? No, he isn't. I was going to say, is he related to my new signings? But no, he isn't. Right, let's go to the tag teams. Yeah. And let's quickly go through these. So, yeah, so Go Time, there they are. Giving them the Clockwork Revolution finisher. Is that? I think it's a video game, that, or it's something. Anyway, probably get another lawsuit on its way, along with the rest of them that we're going to have going on here. So there's the team of what we're going to call NGD. So El Cuatrero is actually in prison in real life, I think, and Samson, and they are brothers in real life, and I think they've got a cousin called, I think it's Forestero or something. I'm surprised they weren't on the game already, actually, but I had to create that team, so that's why they've got no experience. And apparently that's Spanish for the fuse. So, you know, dynamite, fuses. I'm here all week. And then Rock and Roll Express, obviously they need no introduction. What does need an introduction, though, is the new team that we're going to create. And I'm going to call them, again, it's another the, because that's all I can think of, the Sky Riders. So that is going to be Triton and Trey Miguel. So they are the Sky Riders. And I'll think of a finisher. I don't know, we'll call them, I don't know, Flying Without Wings or something. I don't know. We'll think of something. Hopefully a bit more creative than that. And not called the as well. Right, so that's that done. Okay, now we're 45 minutes into the video. Can I get the next show booked? Let's try. I want to try and keep this under an hour, but like I said, I may just go for what, because I've taken such a long time, I may just go for one video here. One show, sorry, on this video, which is unlike me, but we'll get to Thursday anyway. Because obviously now I'm booking 11 segments instead of 8. It will take longer to book the shows. How many weeks are we away from the next event? So we've got 5 shows to book, according to me. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Because we've got 4 shows to book. Yeah, we'll do then. Yeah, so I'm just gonna book one show then on this, because this has been a long episode, because I spent a long time setting everything up. So yeah, we'll just get to the next Thursday, and then we'll call it a day. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, well, I'm gonna ignore that as much as I don't really want to, because I think we're gonna have. Well, should we suspend him for a month? Yeah, we'll suspend him for a month. Why not? Just to show that I'm not a pushover. Yeah, so we'll get to the next show, and then we'll say sayonara, because, like I said, I want to keep this video under an hour, and I know it's been a long one, and I do apologise for the a lot of it's kind of been a bit unnecessary, but I had a bit of housekeeping to do with it ticking over to the first of the month, and then, as I said, with it being, we're now booking 11 segments, sorry, instead of 8. It's always going to take a little bit longer, but we will stick to 2 shows a video from now on. Right, I'll deal with all this. So I'll tidy up the emails and other stuff, and try and think of a finisher for the Sky events. I do like tag teams to have a tag team finisher. I don't know why, but we'll try and sort all that out before we record the next video. But that is it for this video. So as I said, apologies, we've only booked 1 show, slightly curtailed, but it has been a significant video. We're now on prime time, so we'll see where that takes us, but that is it for now. So if you enjoyed this video, then please like and share the video. You can also leave a comment on the video should you choose to do that. While you're here on YouTube, if you head on over to the channel, the commentator, you'll find the rest of the videos in this playlist. So you'll see how I've got to this point. Started this back in January, so we've gone from January the 1st currently to August the 8th. So if you've missed anything out and you want to see how the storylines have developed, please go check that out. Now also, if you like wrestling, I've played through WWE Crush Hour for the PS2. I've done a full playthrough of that, so please go and check that out. There's also a myriad of other games for you to enjoy. But job next time, we're moving on, carrying on the month of August, so we're going to be back to doing 2 shows a video from now on. But to get to that point, for now, from me, it is sayonara.